Hello, and welcome to Soups and Sabers. It is opening night of Fantastic Four First Steps. As always, we are here. We are giving you our fresh, raw, out of theater, spoiler filled reactions, as we always do on these premiere nights. A bit of a bittersweet one this time, I do got to admit. You know, we've been looking forward to this month for so long. Really, you know, it was kind of the genesis of Soups and Sabers being what it was today. You know, that James Gunn announcement way back when was really kind of what linked up Chris and Jordan, and then they brought me into the fold. And since then, it's just like this has been sort of the pie in the sky month of just waiting for this to be here. And the fact that it's over is a little bit of a bummer, but nonetheless, we aren't done yet because we have a ton to talk about today. And a hell of a movie at that. So I will stop rambling. My name is Ron. With me tonight is a familiar cast of characters. We'll start with Chris. Chris, what's up, brother?
I'm doing marvelous. I think you thought I was going to say fantastic, but I'm doing marvelous.
I did. I almost even said that when I threw to you. I was like, tell us you're doing fantastic, and let's get the puns out of the way early. But also joining us tonight, making his return, is our new pal, Coby. Coby, what is up, man?
What's up? I'll get all 4 puns out of the way. I'll say this movie was fire. It was fantastic. And here's the thing. The haters for this movie are invisible.
Facts. Let's
Boom.
go.
Boom. All 4 members right there.
We love it. We love it. So, yeah. As I said, we are talking Fantastic Four First Steps. Chris and I have just gotten out of the theater from seeing it the first time. Coby, you saw it last night. Today was your second viewing already.
Yeah, I was very lucky to win at my LCS. They had a Marvel Studios rep come down, and they did a little raffle for some early screenings. So I was able to see today early. It was super fun. Also got like a Fantastic Four poster.
Excellent. Very cool. So yeah, we have this movie. It was a spectacle, to put it lightly. I think, and I'll kind of just kick us off here with my general thoughts. I think it was a movie that I can be as close to liking without saying I loved. The things that I did love in this movie, I really loved. I think Silver Surfer, for me, was kind of the star of the show. And I kind of got to eat a little bit of crow a little bit here because even going back to when they first announced that, it's going to be Shalabal, it's not Nor and Rad, I was like, okay, let's see. I was open to it, but I was like, as a big time Nor and Rad fan, I was a little skeptical. And then we got that first shot in that trailer of the CGI looking rough and the voice sounding rough, and I was like, oh no, what are we in for here? But not only did they correct those CGI issues, which we knew going in because we've seen updated footage and she's looked great since that first look we got. But just her whole arc in this movie to me was kind of the standout.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just like quintessential Silver Surfer origin story, really.
100% to a T. She was the star for me. But not far behind her was Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn. Both of them were like just amazing to me. Admittedly, wasn't huge on Pedro Pascal as Reed. I think of all of them, he was probably my least favorite. But I didn't, hate him in the role or anything like that. I just don't think he was maybe the best choice for Reed. But nonetheless, overall, loved the movie, or really liked the movie, I should say, as I'm sitting here saying, I didn't love it. And then I say I love it 2 seconds later. But I really liked the movie. It was a hell of a time at the movies. And far more often than not, I was like gripping my cup holders, you know what I mean? Just like in this wild ride. So a great time for me. And Chris, now I will throw to you. Just give us your thoughts, man. Your sort of general mile-high view.
All right, so my biggest problem with the film, I just want to get right out of the way, is I thought Pedro Pascal was flat. I thought he was a little flat. He felt a little unfizzed. I just was waiting for a little more pop. There was one scene in here that really made the movie work, and it's when he's talking to Franklin, and he says, I'm going to stop testing you. I'm going to start letting you tell me who you are. And it'd be really good if you would, like, if you're a super god, to, like, just tell me now.
Yeah.
But But so it was actually like a cute little father moment that was the only thing that gave that character any life. I thought that Pedro Pascal was even like talking to the press was just like he looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he didn't want to do that. And it's like Sue is so obviously the leader of this group, which is fine, but they're presenting it like he's the leader, and it's kind of weird. I just want to take that as the negative because the rest is pretty positive. For me,
I feel like Pedro Pascal at some point must have gotten like a direction to like, because Reed is the type of person, if you just like overview of him, a surface level view of him, he's all logic, no emotions, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like he got some sort of direction like that and maybe took it the wrong way and kind of, that's what came from that performance, because I definitely felt that too, that he was just kind of flat, and I didn't
like somebody told him like more nerd, less Pedro. Like
and Pedro was actually one of the things that sold me on the film, because I'm like, okay, we know Pedro Pascal, I'm sold. But I thought the movie was fantastic, other than that, to say the pun unintentionally that time. But I give it an 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. I thought that Johnny was the MVP for me. I just couldn't believe how good he was. I thought, man, they're making Johnny smart and with the same personality you kind of expect from him. That's cool. More of that, please. Sue was incredible. I think her just act at the end, the third act, and Sue Storm, my goodness. That is one of the most gripping performances any actor has given in the MCU. And the music, I thought, was unbelievable. This is Michael Giacchino's best work, and he did the goddamn Batman. My goodness, this is Michael Giacchino's best work. The score swells. It carries the movie. I thought the thing playing like jokes with the kids with the car was just one of my favorite scenes. That everyone had personality for the most part. And I just really loved it. And the Silver Surfer and the images. This is a gorgeous film. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was CGI that looks like I could touch it, looked like I could feel it. It was visceral. It was poetic imagery. And I could not believe what I was seeing. So I give it a very strong 8 out of 10, like what Ron said. The things I loved about this film, I really liked. I have a couple of nitpicks. I have a couple of things that I didn't like. 8 out of 10 seems very fair.
Yeah. No, it's very fair. Yeah. Coby, let's hear your sort of general thoughts here, man.
Yeah, very similar. Going into it, I was really kind of like on edge about whether they were going to do well with it. Like I said, like you said before, Pedro Pascal really sold me on it, and but Vanessa Kirby and The Thing ended up really being my two favorite characters, just because I'm such a huge Jack Kirby fan. I'm a Jack Kirby lover for life. And I don't know, I didn't catch this till my second viewing, but I don't know if y'all saw that scene of like whenever Silver Surfer first comes down into Times Square, there's like a room and it basically shows Jack Kirby, and it has like a little wall of Timely comics and has a bunch of his drawings on the wall. And he goes, "Oh, what is that?" Like one of the people that says, "Oh, what is that?" and looks out the window. I believe that's supposed to be Jack Kirby. So that's a really, really cool cameo. So I really enjoyed, Silver Surfer was awesome. The space visuals in this movie were absolutely phenomenal. Like some of the best space stuff that we've gotten since Guardians of the Galaxy. Silver Surfer has a really, really fun arc overall. It's really just like, classic, that original Silver Surfer story. And I mean, that's why they recommended that very first Silver Surfer Galactus arc to so many people as like the basis for this movie. So that makes sense.
Required reading sort of thing.
I think the family dynamics were really fun for the most part. I there were a few nitpicks, like you said. I would have probably loved a little bit more of, I don't know. I really loved the angry brotherly rivalry in the 2000s Fantastic Four movies, and I didn't feel like we got that as much in this one. There a little bit with the Clobber in Time stuff, which was also really fun.
Yeah.
But you know, like you said with Reed, I don't know his form. He wasn't bad necessarily. I feel like we could have definitely gotten more out of Reed Richards as a character.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I was more focused on the other members of the team. Whenever it's really supposed to be all of them, and then like Reed or Sue are really supposed to be kind of the two leaders at one point or another. So I don't know. It's a bit, and he's supposed to like lead into Avengers Doomsday. I would assume they would choose Mr. Fantastic to be kind of the head person from the Fantastic Four to kind of do a lot of the fighting and talking and stuff, especially if Doom is involved.
Yeah, which he is going to be, as we saw. Not to jump too far ahead, but the post-credit, we finally got our first little glimpse of Doctor Doom. We didn't see the mask. We didn't see Robert Downey Jr.
The mask. We saw the mask in his hand. We just didn't see the face.
Yes, we didn't see it on his. It was very much a quick, like, just give you a little something, and then we're snipping out. Like,
does kind of confirm that they might be letting Doom take his helmet off, which is not something that he really does in the comics, and I don't know how I feel about that.
It's tough, but I also think we also did get confirmation in this movie that RDJ's Doom is, at least to me, the way that I took this, is this universe's Doom. Because
I don't think they would have any other reason for Doom to take his mask off unless they just wanted to show Robert Downey Jr.'s face.
And we get that really quick shot in the beginning while Sue is talking to the UN, which, by the way, is life story through and through, by the way. That was told right from the pages of that story. We get that really quick shot of the Latveria seat empty. I think that was very much by design. They would not have put it in there if it was not for us to follow that paper trail of being like, okay, then maybe this Doom we see at the end is this universe's Doom, not just some random multiversal Doom from East Bumfuck 6169543. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, one of the biggest problems I had with this movie, I think, is that it feels like there's a lot missing. Like, I feel like that there's a good bit that was cut out. I think, especially
the beginning.
There was a good chunk of villains like that they might have casted or gotten live action footage for. We know Red Ghost was one of them, but I feel like that there were probably others. Because I mean, right there, that the second post-credit scene, not to jump too far ahead again, but we saw, and I mean, who all did they mention? Well, Reed was like, "Oh, we're going and busting all the
Mad Thinker, like Diablo, like there's
Puppet Master, I think too.
Puppet Master, yes,
yeah.
So I do think they did probably cut a lot from this movie. I honestly think. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I feel like I would have rather maybe you keep all of that in and you cut out the 90 seconds to 2 minutes that Natasha Lyonne's character had in this film that just felt felt
why
like
would you replace Alicia Masters?
That was it. They wanted to dip their toe into the Alicia Masters thing without going all the way with it because they knew that this universe wasn't going to be like they knew Fantastic Four was going into our MCU universe after this, so they didn't want to like set all that stuff up just to have no payoff for it down the road. I think it would have been better to just leave it out completely.
Just wait and let Ben meet an Alicia Masters in 616. Or else that's just going to make it all complicated. Or it's going to be like, oh, I liked this other redhead in my other universe, and now I'm like, now there's this new one, and she's blind. Oh, what do I do? You know?
We are never going to hear the name Rachel Rosman again. I don't.
No. Yeah. Because I got so scared that it was going to be Birdie, just because.
From What If.
And I was like, oh no, I don't want that character back.
All right, but we've been maybe a little negative here, kind of to start, but let's pull it back and let's talk about the things that we loved because there was a lot to love in this movie, and I do want to start with that Silver Surfer and Johnny Storm dynamic because to me. That was by far what worked the most in this movie. It was probably the only, I don't want to say the only dynamic that I felt really invested in, but there were some interactions like between Reed and Sue that maybe felt a little wooden, you know what I mean? Whereas every time that Johnny and Silver Surfer interacted, it felt real. It felt like genuine. It felt that the chemistry was there, even down to that scene at the end when he's sort of like trying to turn her over and using her past against her, which was very creative, by the way, and very cool visually.
She was really great in that scene. Julia Garner did great in that scene. And I definitely agree that Reed and Sue specifically, their dialogue, and I think it wasn't as much in the performances. I think they were kind of trying to do the best they could, but specifically in the scene where they're like in the nursery, you know what I'm talking about? And like that scene, it took me out of the movie both times I was watching it because I was like, oh, this dialogue feels a little
like forced, maybe forced forward.
Yeah.
I think Johnny was the MVP for me though, because the Silver Surfer dynamic, like Ron said, was so important. That scene where he goes up and he just catches the edge of the one of the best shots in cinematic history, unbelievable. But then he takes this like little phrase and he makes it the Rosetta Stone, and it's just brilliant. And I'm like, wait a second, I thought Reed was supposed to be smart, but this Johnny guy,
dude, that was very Reed. They developed a whole.
Reed's big brain's too busy right now. Reed's big brain's too busy right now, Sue. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. I loved it, and I also thought anytime Johnny interacted with a character, that character was better. I think the Thing needed Johnny. I think Sue needed Johnny. Reed definitely needed Johnny. I think all the characters were better when you see, like, you know, they lock everything down and they're like, wait, where's Johnny? He's the one doing something.
And he's out. Yeah. And they give us the life story death fake out too. With the death of Johnny Storm, and then Silver Surfer swoops in. It was it was so good.
I'm so glad I read that because I'm literally watching this going, oh no, like I tightened up, dude. I was like, you made me care about this guy. I know Reed's your big hitter for the next chapters of the story. So I was like, oh God, don't sacrifice. And then at the end, I'm like, they're not gonna leave Vanessa Kirby dead here, are they?
No, dude. My theater, you could have heard a pin drop in my theater during that.
Oh my God, no, yeah. In that early screening I went to, everybody was like, they're gonna kill Vanessa. They're gonna kill Invisible Woman.
And it felt a little, honestly, BVS. I was like, wait a second, Superman's already dead. Like I was like, it felt, and then
they drew it out.
They drew it out, but that was the best part of this movie. Was the writing really made you invested in everything it wanted you. The writing really invested you in these characters,
despite the fact that this is a superhero movie, and it's like, oh, superheroes always come back. I really genuinely thought that she might be dead, and not coming back.
I was like, if we get Sue, it's gonna be a variant from another. It'll be 616 Sue, and Reed will be like, oh, I'm not lonely forever. Like,
that'd just be another what is it?
Another storyline, yeah.
Gamora and
Peter Quill and Gamora, good pull, Coby. But also we know that like this universe and this story and this multiverse, like there is a finite end to it. We know that the bookend is coming in 2.5 years. So like it almost feels like maybe there's a little more stakes because of that, because we know it's like, don't get married to anything because this story is ending in pretty short order here. So like even these characters they're introducing now, like I don't think they're safe, you know. Some of them maybe, you know, if you really want to get into the dollars and cents of it all, like are they going to kill Pedro Pascal's character? No, probably not. But I do think that the fact that this story is coming to an end soon sort of, makes those moments where it's like, oh, fuck, are they going to kill Sue Storm here? Like, actually more believable. Whereas, like, if this was, say, the first movie coming out of Secret Wars, like, to set up the next iteration of the MCU, there would have been no suspense in that moment. We would have known that Sue was not dying.
Yeah.
I love how you get a little taste of Franklin without actually giving anything away for Franklin.
Yeah.
Even if the CGI was a little rough, I don't know why we have to make CGI.
On those eyes,
babies.
yeah. Oh no, the CGI baby, yeah, no, that was CGI. They just Flash. We don't need
Yeah.
CGI.
I was too emotional to notice that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, second
That's
viewing,
fair.
I'll probably be like, those are CGI, like, baby faces, and oh no.
Yeah.
But no, first watch, I'm like, oh my god.
All right. So one thing that we haven't talked about yet so far in this episode is ironically the biggest thing in the film from a stature perspective, and that is Galactus. This was a character that I was, I don't want to say skeptical, but I think my biggest thing, and I said this on the show a lot leading up, was like, I want to be so overwhelmed by the size of this character that like I have a panic attack in the theater. Mm-hmm. And while we didn't get that celestial side, you know what I mean, where he's like in space so big next to planet Earth that it's like unfathomable, I think they did a really good job of amplifying the scope of him with the sound mixing, and just even like when he would move, it felt almost like a cosmic shift, you know what I mean? It was like grinding and like just I think audibly they did a very good job of really highlighting how big Galactus was. Even that scene when he first drops down into the water, and it's like what, like up to his shins, you know what I mean? It was like, whoa. It was awesome.
Yeah, they did a really good job with like the camera work. I think in that very first scene where they visit his ship, of like getting it under him to make his scale seem a lot bigger and kind of get it from the perspective of the four, just so ginormous.
They had to get it big enough to make it Galactus and small enough that Stu could actually do what he did. Like it was literally like, how are we going to make this believable?
Yeah,
and I think that's what they accomplished.
It would be really hard to give him his like size changing power from the comics, and then because if Stu did what he did, he would just get bigger.
He would just go bigger. Yeah. Exactly.
When he was stretching Reed out, dude, I was like, all right. So
he smiled. He was smirking.
Yes!
He was like,
he's like,
again, is very.
I thought we was about to get another Spaghetti Richards.
Yeah, right. And again, very life story coded. Whereas, like, so much of Galactus written in history has been this. Benevolent is the wrong word, but sort of an entity that doesn't take pleasure in the things that they do, feeding because they have to. Meanwhile, this was very much reminiscent of the life story Galactus, where the first time you see him, he's like, I'm coming to your Earth. I'm going to eat it. Fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like that was very much kind of the version we got in this one, a more malicious, intentionally by design kind of Galactus, even though still sort of having the soul of that. Like, maybe he doesn't totally love it, but he also doesn't totally hate it either. So I think they struck a really good balance there.
Like, I think it was interesting because he felt like a force of nature. Like, he had to continue until and then Reed was his successor, his way out, his rest. And that was an interesting concept because like when you're a force of nature and you're just like, well, it has to balance out. So Reed or Franklin was the balancing out.
Very Lovecraftian almost. Yeah. Like not to sound like a total douche throwing that one out there, but you know what I mean? Like that cosmic horror sort of like so big that your mind can't fathom it. Like sort of concept. They did it really well.
I do want to highlight that the best speech I've ever seen written in a goddamn superhero movie was Sue Storm explaining why they said no, explaining that what brings us together, and that we're going to do it as a family. All of a sudden, the world is a family. And
I totally thought that was just going to be her talking to the four in the trailer. Yeah. Whenever we heard those lines in the trailer,
the fact that speech was so damn good. That is one of the best delivered speeches, one of the best written speeches. And we need more of that attitude in the world. So I love everything about Vanessa Kirby's performance because it had so much gravitas. It was heavy. It was impactful, and I believed it. And that is, in a superhero film, to have one of my favorite moments be a speech about a baby. Yes, please. It's
But
great.
even like aesthetically, it was great, right? She's standing in the middle, like, and underneath the statue of all of them, and all the people are around. Like, it felt like, at least me sitting in the seat there, it felt like you're part of the family, right? Like them accepting everybody in to, whereas it was a family of 4. Now we are all a family, and we have to combat this threat that is coming to destroy us all. Honestly, it's probably the only thing that could bring us together in the real life at this point too. So I thought it was
also
very
the
cool
one that's confronting Doom in that post-credit scene.
Yeah,
dude. When the Silver Surfer blows up all of the bridges,
that was crazy.
First off, the imagery is just fantastic. But I was like, I'm literally going, they're gonna lose. I was like, this is their big fish. They're gonna lose.
You could just tell that Shackman loves the Silver Surfer character, because there was so when they go to Galactus's ship and like the stuff on the lava and like it was like he went out of his way to just be like, how many cool situations can we put Silver Surfer in this movie? And every single one of them just
she got sucked into a black hole.
Wormhole.
Yes.
That was so cool.
And like they think they lose her, and then she just pops back in. Like, dude, it was amazing.
Oh, that was great.
It was amazing.
And Johnny's like, stop trying to tell me how to kill sexy aliens. I loved it. And we kind of got that in the trailer, but I was like, I thought that was going to be the stupidest moment of the movie. I was like, okay, I did it. Mine did in the film. So like, okay, cool.
yeah. No doubt.
So I just realized, do you guys remember the very first shot we saw of Galactus with his eyes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We didn't get that in the trailer or in the movie.
Yeah. No, we did not. We did get some pretty killing shots.
We got some pretty great shots in this. I really, like you said before, the one of him coming down into and all the shots of his eyes were really good. I really loved the way they used his eyes in this movie.
Like when it's just this black void and you just see the 2 eyes pop on. Like, oh god, so scary, so chilling. It was awesome. So as anybody who listens to these out of theater kind of reactions that we do knows, they aren't quite as long as our deep dive episodes. So we're gonna kind of start winding things down here. Before I ask your guys' favorite moments of the movie, there's one more thing I did want to highlight. Paul Walter Hauser is hilarious as Mole Man.
He
probably got like 2 minutes combined of screen time, but just in the little snippets we got in the beginning and that brief scene of him like negotiating with the Fantastic Four.
Don't be mad, Johnny. I didn't dress you.
Dude, it was hilarious. He was great.
He was really fun. I would love to see more of him. I hope that I doubt that, I don't think the Fantastic Four would like bring him in the ship, but we can make Paul Walter Hauser Mole Man in our main universe too.
Yeah. Just make him in 616. Yeah, that would be fine with me. That would be fine with me for sure. All right. So as I said, we are going to start wrapping things up now. And as we always do with these episodes, we like to end on a high note and just give your favorite part of the movie. I will start. I think my favorite part was probably that ending that I talked about before, that third act scene with Johnny and Silver Surfer when they're in Times Square and she's hearing all of the sounds of all of the peoples whose planet she is doomed. And it just, oh man, it was so cool, so creative, seeing a blacked out Times Square. Like it just visually was stunning to me, and again was the sort of the crux, the climax of my favorite dynamic of the movie. So that was my favorite. Chris, I'll throw to you. What was your favorite part of the movie?
Well, I kind of talked about my favorite moment. It was Sue's speech. So to not go over that again, I'll say my favorite part of the movie, other than that, was when Johnny figures out the Rosetta Stone part and he's playing around with that, and like he's like Reed's too busy doing this, I'll do this. And I because it's like that's when you as the audience are like, okay, we're cooking with something. There's something going on. This is the answer. So like this is when we get keyed in. It's the lead up to the third act, in my opinion. and
Yeah.
that's why Johnny blew me away in this movie. MVP, I think. So, other than maybe that scene where he's holding the edge of this, there's so many moments, dude.
Yeah.
What was good about this film was great. So,
yep. Coby, hit us with it, brother.
Probably whenever they very first meet Galactus, I think is whenever, like, my favorite part, just his very first introduction, you know, his monologue of him introducing himself and being like, you know, I don't necessarily, the score was great in that moment, and just like the lighting was really good, like you said, it was just at first just the eyes, and then it slowly showed more, but it was almost like there's a mist over everything. Like, this man is so big that he has like clouds around him, you know?
Oh God, don't do that. Don't say Galactus clouds. No.
No.
We're getting into
no to Galactus clouds. Oh.
Just say no to
PTSD
Galactus
over here,
clouds.
brother.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, this is our last out of theater reaction video for a little bit. As I mentioned, it sucks. Yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet feeling, but you know, it's been a pleasure to get hyped for this month, to make episode after episode, just getting ready for this month. You know, Chris, we've been at this for a long ass time. Jordan's been with us for a long ass time. Coby, you're a little new to the fold, but your contributions are recognized equally.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I feel like I'd be remiss. Yeah, dude, I feel like I'd be remiss not to end this episode and just, you know, say thank you to anybody who's listened to us. We aren't a massive show by any means. We have a very small but very cool viewer base who always interacts with us and leaves us nice comments and stuff, or maybe not nice comments sometimes, but nonetheless, you know, this month is pretty much solely responsible for this show being what it is today. So thank you to everybody who's listened to us over these last couple of years. It's been just as fun to record as it has been for all of you to listen, I hope. And yeah, the road's not over yet. We still have our full deep dive episode that we are going to do on this movie once Jordan has seen it. So be on the lookout for that early next week. But besides from that, you know, this is kind of very much the end of a road. And we are very excited for what's coming next. So stay tuned. We're going to have a ton of announcements coming off of this movie and sort of what we're going to be doing next on the channel. We're bringing drafts back. We got some fun stuff cooking. So just kind of hang in with us in the meantime. Thank you again. And, you know, I'm trying to think of shows coming up that we have to promote, Chris, but this is the first time that there's just like nothing.
Look, what I will tell you is we're not going to shut up anytime soon.
Yeah.
And we're bringing drafts back. We're going to have fun, guys. I really appreciate, just kind of want to say on top of what Ron said, I really appreciate having the outlet to talk about this thing. You know, I was always one of those guys who listened to all these podcasts and like, why am I not doing this? And then once I started doing it, I loved it. And the best part about it is Ron and Jordan are literally two of the best friends I could ever have. And it's an unbelievable moment. I mean, to think this all started the way it started, and it was meant to be. It was kismet. It was perfect. I couldn't have predicted it, and it just, thank you. So if you guys like and follow and leave a comment, man, just be part of it, because it means something to us. And also, it's just, this is our outlet. Life is kind of chaotic for everybody, and this is our outlet, and we need it, and it's precious.
Yep. And as much as this is an ending, it is also a beginning, because there is a lot of cool shit on the horizon. So now that me and Chris are done being sad saps here, Coby, give us your socials, give us all your good stuff, where the folks can follow you, and just give us all of it.
Oh yeah, so you can follow me at pretty much everything at Coby, Coby, Juan Kenobi 99. I'm on TikTok. That's probably my main place you can reach me. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. That's post a bunch of cool content about comic books, my weekly comic calls and all that. So yeah, go check me out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's love your TikToks too. So
Thank you.
if you're a comic fan, check him out. But with that said, God, it sucks. I almost don't even want to end the show because it feels like the fun is over. But nonetheless, we have to. Thank you all for tuning in to Supes and Sabers tonight. And as always, we will catch you on the next one.